Welcome to the Halterman Podcast. I'm James Mason.
I'm Sarah Colenso.
And every now and again we get together to discuss things that we feel might be of interest to you about the local property market.
So, what could we possibly want to be talking about since the last one?
Well, has September been the September that we are thinking about? So we're halfway through now.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting time. Kids went back to school 10 days ago,
Yes.
maybe, something like that. And we kept saying to people all summer, it's too early to tell.
Everyone's been asking us, what's the market doing? And that information has been changing on at least a weekly basis, hasn't it?
Really hard. I thought everyone went away a bit more this summer, certainly from Instagram. There were double holidays and then beginning and end and all that kind of stuff.
What were we expecting to happen?
Well, look, if you do the big recap, all estate agents are expecting there to be an election around about now. So that's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
The ideal would be that we have in September what happened in May.
Yes.
Everyone comes back from holidays, gets on with it, moves on with it.
And it was a brilliant May.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Mm.
Best May. If you're an estate agent, I'm guaranteeing you probably May was your best month of this year, definitely. It's probably your best month of the last 2 years, I would have thought. Everyone that I spoke to had just a phenomenal time. And we were kind of hoping that September was going to be just all systems go. And it isn't quite that.
Well, August was particularly noticeably quiet, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we always say October is a quieter month, but
August?
the quality... What did I say?
October.
Yeah, okay. We'll come on to that.
We say, quality up, quantity down, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. You find that in August...
Wow, why can't you say
I'm
August?
just wishing the year away. In August, I think you do find a real quality of buyer, very much school-driven as well.
Yes.
Who are looking, and there were deals being done in August, but it was definitely quieter.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the quality of buyer actually dropped a little bit, which we're seeing move into September as well now.
We thought maybe all those people were just on holiday, didn't we?
Yeah. It's a funny time. We are kissing a few more frogs at the moment to find a prince. So, by that I mean we're having to deal with more buyers who perhaps aren't quite in a position to buy their property today, but could be within a few weeks. And actually, what is interesting, London market seems to be on fire.
Yeah, but that usually filters down to us, doesn't it? So as long as they're getting it right and getting themselves under offer, then they'll come down the A3 and buy our houses.
Certainly seems the last couple of people that I've dealt with who have seen houses with us, loved them, put their house on the market.
Yes.
They've gone to multiple bids.
Yes.
So that's a really encouraging sign.
Really encouraging, exactly.
With the Surrey market at the moment, I think that buyers have fallen or splitting off into like 3 different camps. At the I did 11 viewings on Saturday. We had however many viewings last week. So viewing numbers are still high. But it certainly seems that some of those viewers think they're doing us a favour by coming out to look at a house that they can't buy.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other ones who are, and again, I think that we've had conversations with plenty of buyers recently who've said, actually, do you know what? We just want to wait and see what happens.
Yes.
Which is, look, when the Prime Minister makes a statement saying that the budget in 6 weeks' time is going to be painful, really helpful, Keir. Really helpful.
Thank you.
So thanks a lot for that. So it is going to be interesting to see what that budget, and we'll probably have
and
to
that has helped. That's encouraged people again to put the brakes on because we just don't know what's going to happen. But he didn't make it sound fun for us, did he?
No, look, it's going to be one of those things where we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But I think that the good thing is there is still an absolute hardcore of buyer that is wanting to be in the houses by Christmas. We've talked actually, we've done a couple of deals this week where we're talking about exchange times. And actually everyone's talking about completing before Christmas. I know it sounds a bit funny saying that in September because everyone would just think, well, yeah, of course you'd complete before Christmas. Actually, mortgages are a bit slower. Lawyers are a lot slower. If anyone knows the answer to that, if you could just put answers on a postcard to us, that'd be brilliant. But everything has slowed down a little bit. So if you think putting deals together now, maybe at the beginning of October, that gives you October, November, and the first 2 weeks of December to get into a property.
It's very doable as long as everyone's pulling in the right direction. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. So that hardcore, if as agents, and all agents will look at this, and those who are old enough to remember, like me, will remember when we didn't have computers on our desk or even lists on our phones or whatever it may be.
Mobile phone?
I had a pager. I thought I made it. I just need to get to a payphone. But we would have what was known as the hot box. You know, you roll the decks there and you'd flick through and they'd have a star on them or a highlighter. And it very much feels like we're back in that mode now. If I was an estate agent, let's say you were one of the great unwashed on the high street and you were sat there in your office, I would be focusing on probably 20% of my applicants, which is what we're doing. When we're speaking to people, you can hear straight in their voice whether they are wanting to get on with it or whether they are just having a look. And there is a mix of those who are putting their properties on the market and looking to buy somewhere. They are genuine. There are people who are just having a look around.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the ones that we're doing at the moment, which is brilliant, are the people who have said, no, we need to be in. We're under offer, we're under pressure, we've got a great mortgage product and we want to tie it in on our purchase. Absolutely brilliant. They're the ones to look for, aren't they?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and I thought you were going to say, you know, being as old as you are, because obviously I'm way younger.
Well, I'm quite young now, actually.
Yeah, but that's going to change, isn't it?
Depending on when this comes out.
I think you'll still be that age. You will be.
If this comes out, maybe we'll put some pressure on to get this edited and out quickly, and then
so I'm still young, Rach, okay?
Then I'm still young.
There we are.
But if someone's watching this next week, no, I'm old.
You're really old. Yeah. Yes. I thought you were going to refer to interest rates, because actually that has been a little bit helpful to us.
Oh, without doubt.
Because we were talking to those people this morning and said, well, I remember when interest rates were 15%, and then you said yes, and you bought your house for £25,000. But so we're coming out of the shock period of time where people have suddenly gone, what? It's going to cost me 5% for my mortgage now, and it was creeping up, which really was, you know, knocking everyone's confidence because you didn't know what you were literally buying into. But now they're leveling, some are coming down, and so people are a little bit more optimistic about things and getting used to the new normal. I hate that word, but it is something that we've now got our heads around, and it's been really helpful that things are gradually creeping downwards rather than upwards.
Well, let me tell you, we had a deal go through. It exchanged within 6 weeks. And in that time, the buyer remortgaged with somebody else and got a better rate. So there are great deals out there. You know, it's not a problem. And remember, you marry the house, you date the rate. That's the thing. And my advice at the moment to anyone who is looking, if you're looking to buy a house that you are going to stay in for longer than 5 years, and you see a house that you like, and it's going to make your family happy, buy it.
Buy the house.
Buy the house. Yeah. It's as simple as that. If your life is in turmoil and you're not quite sure where you're going to be for the next 18 months, okay, chill out, you know, rent.
I think that's something that it's really helpful if people can get their heads around renting as well at the moment, because if you aren't willing to, you know, dive in and actually buy a house, then it puts you in such an amazing position to sell your house, get the money in the bank, rent for free because of the interest you're getting on that money, and then it puts you in the best position to pounce when you do find a house that you are willing to commit to.
Yeah, if you are selling and going into rented in order to then find your next property, don't go and rent an absolute monster of a pad with a swimming pool, unless you have the money, and then please come and see us. We have some fabulous houses. But just rent something that is going to be suitable for you and the family for 6 to 18 months, let's say, worst case scenario. It's not going to take that long to find. And then go out and buy something. But rentals basically.
It's a fantastic option if you can make it work for your family unit.
If you're putting a load of cash in the bank, renting for free at the moment, isn't it? You know, it's great. But I definitely think as well now we're in a period where we are middle of September. So how many more? And someone asked me this as well. Oh, what's coming on? What's coming on? It's like, we've got a selection of properties that are coming on the market, but like over the next 3 to 4 weeks, definitely. And then what is going to come onto the market this year? Are we going to see a huge amount of properties in December? No. Are we going to see a huge amount of properties in November? Well, you never know. It depends what our friend says.
Yeah.
You might see some rental properties coming onto the market almost immediately after that. You might see a sudden uptick, but I don't think it's going to be enough to change the status quo. My view is the properties that are on the market today, or the ones that are coming on in the next 3 to 4 weeks, are probably going to be the pick of the bunch.
They stand a really good chance of getting under offer quickly as long as they've been marketed and priced properly and people are in by Christmas or exchanged by Christmas at least. Yeah.
And the advice that we are giving is that if you are going to put your property onto the market now, well, it's a couple of things, isn't there? We've definitely noticed a change in buyer language when they're looking at properties and inspecting.
Oh, they're so scared of everything. So, I mean, I'm sure this can be turned into a joke, but they're really scared of cracks, aren't they? What's that?
it needs painting.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's one of the most important things. Perception is everything. And at the moment, I think I've been saying it's like a broken record, but people need to be reassured that buying a house is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And so take away every reason they might get scared. Well, they don't want to take on necessarily very big building projects. They don't want to take on maintenance. Obviously, you have a surveyor around if you are concerned about things, but they don't like dodgy windows, they don't like cracks in walls, they don't like watermarks in ceilings.
Well, look, it's all or nothing, isn't it? They're fine if they're going.
Totally. If you're going to do the whole thing.
If you're going to do a refurb, you're going to do a refurb. That's fine. But if you're wanting to buy a house that's done, you don't want to have to do anything.
Yes.
Right. It's one of those things, isn't it? So I think the advice that we've been giving clients is if there are little jobs, let's say we've got it. Look at our houses. You wander around, you go, oh yeah, I was going to get around to that.
Yes.
But we're not selling the house, so it's fine. I think if you are about to put your house onto the market, it is absolutely worth it. And we do it. Obviously, it's one of our key points in our business that we will go and give you an advice on every single room in your house, every single wall, every single ceiling in your house. We will look at it. But it is worth doing it if you're going to go onto the market, just to have a little look around your house. Have a look at your paintwork. Have a look at have a look outside. Yes. Have a look at your external. The amount of people I'm seeing getting to a house early, having a good nosy around and everything.
Oh, well, they might have even driven past the day before. And
probably.
It's a bit tatty.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's when they bring their dad. That's the worry, isn't it?
What? And he knocks a wall.
Yeah. But I think
that's a supporting wall.
I think it's definitely worth, if you are putting your property onto the market in the next 6 weeks, doing a recce.
Yes. Look around it with a fresh pair of eyes. Imagine you're seeing it for the first time and just taking away all the reasons someone shouldn't give you asking price for your property.
Yeah.
Do all those little jobs and it will protect your final under offer price.
And then the key point there is asking price.
Get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, do you know what? I was going to launch into a bit of a tirade today, and I'm not. No, I'm not going to bother. But I'm actually not going to bother.
Yeah.
Because I've got to the point where I don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. People are either going to listen or they're not going to listen, and if they don't get it by now, they're not going to.
And there are I do it, James. But there are so many houses on the market now where we have spoken about what is the right price, and they've gone on for more money, and they're on. But anyway, listen, we'll probably pick some of those up next year.
The thing is though, yes, we may well pick them up, but again, whoever's put them on needs to also be a motivated seller. Let's just be diplomatic about it and say you have to take the advice you're given.
Yes, I think in many of the cases that I'm aware of, both are to blame.
Exactly.
The agent and the client who think they have something really special.
That hasn't been affected by any
other. Yeah, isn't it awful about the rest of the country?
Yeah.
But look, cut your cloth accordingly. If you are going to be selling your home and you want to sell it, put it on a price that is likely to attract a buyer that is going to pay that money for it and then get the deal done.
Yes.
It's one of those. It's not rocket science what we do, is it?
It's not, unfortunately.
Thank God.
Well, also, yeah. A lot more people would be doing it, and we wouldn't, because you'd have to be super hard.
Absolutely. So look, there you go. That's our take on how we are seeing the market mid-September. We could probably do another one of these in 4 weeks and say, well, yes, we're absolutely spot on and we got it completely wrong. It is that up in the air at the moment, a little bit about everything that's going on in the world. Every time you turn on the news, something's a bit different. If you're thinking of selling, now, God, ring us quickly, very quickly. But if you're thinking about selling in the new year, what we're actually saying to people is that hold fire. Let's not come around and see you.
This is what I was going to say. Can we actually talk about that? Because when is the best time to sell your house? Is now a good time to sell your house? We could definitely get it sold, but equally, if you don't need to sell now, why not let the crazy...
It's not like that...
sort itself out.
It's not like that proverb, when's the best time to plant a tree, is it?
No.
No. The best time to sell a house is when you want to sell your house, basically, and when it works for you. If it is now, we will come and see you now. But I mean now. Now.
Before it's sold.
If you are thinking about a move next year, actually, I don't necessarily think there's any point in us coming to see you during September or the beginning of October. I think we'll come and have a look at your house, maybe even after the budget. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see what we know. If the cards have been dealt, at least we know the hand that we are playing.
Oh,
so,
nice.
If you are thinking of selling, let's get around now. If you're thinking of selling next year, we'll come and see you in a month or two. And maybe we'll do a pre-budget prediction.
Really?
Yeah, and then not release it.
Okay. You just write it on a card and have it in our pocket. Okay.
I used to work with a guy who would go and do valuations in a house, and he would say to the owner, right? So show me around, right? They show him around, and then he'd say, "Do you mind if I have a quick look around on my own?" And they go, "Yeah, fine, no problem." So he'd wander around on his own, and he'd come downstairs, and his grand reveal, his big party trick was to go, "Right, really like your house." He said, "Now I've written down on a business card what I think it's worth. Go on, have a guess. Have a guess." And then they'd say their number.
Yeah.
And depending on what they said, he'd reach into one of 4 pockets where he'd got 4 different prices written down.
And we wonder why people don't like estate agents. That's genius, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's still an estate agent. I can't say who.
No, you absolutely can't.
No. Yeah, absolutely. But look, I think if we are, well,
we could do a prediction. We could do a post-budget.
I think we'll definitely do a debrief early October, just about what that might mean for them.
No.
Early November.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know your month.
Do you know why? It's because it's my birthday month and I'm all discombobulated.
Really?
No.
I don't believe that.
No, I just don't understand calendars. So, look, yeah, we can do that for everyone at the beginning of November. And we can have a chat about things. But look, if you are considering a move, you want to pick our brains, absolutely get in touch and we would be more than happy to help you.